Hey everyone, I'm Ryan from Baking with Ryan, and I'm going to show you how to make this super fun trolls cake. I'll go through all the steps, including making ganache drips, trolls bark, and a super easy frosting technique. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. Here's the ingredients you'll need. First, you'll need 4 vanilla cakes. I've dyed 2 of them blue and the other 2 pink. You'll also want to have white chocolate chips, unsalted butter, salt, powdered sugar, heavy cream, and vanilla extract. The final ingredients are candy melts, sprinkles, and 2 trolls figurines. The frosting that I'm using to make this cake is called an American buttercream. To make your American buttercream, start off by pouring 8 sticks of butter into the bowl of a stand mixer. Using a paddle attachment, cream together your butter until it's light and fluffy. Now that the butter is fully whipped, you can turn off your mixer. Before adding in any more ingredients, make sure to scrape down your paddle attachment and scrape down the bowl. Following that step, you can start adding in the powdered sugar. Unless you want a giant powdered sugar cloud, I don't recommend adding all 15 cups at once. I added in the powdered sugar in 7 installments. Each installment I added 2 cups of powdered sugar and I mixed it up in between. To soften up the buttercream, I drizzled in some heavy cream. In the end, you'll only want to use about 2 tablespoons of cream, so make sure not to add too much. To cut through some of the sweetness, add in a couple pinches of salt. Lastly, scrape down your bowl and your buttercream is finished. This will go great on top of our cake. To fill the cake, I'll be using a piping bag fitted with an oversized piping tip. Fill up the piping bag with 1/3 of the buttercream. Now let's assemble the cake. First, I spread out some buttercream on the middle of the cake board. Then I place down one of my pink cake layers. This layer is going to represent Poppy. Again, using a piping bag fitted with an oversized piping tip, fill in the inside of your cake with frosting. After that, smooth out the frosting with an offset spatula. Next, place down a blue cake layer. This layer will represent Branch. Following that step, repeat the cake stacking process with your 3rd and 4th cake layers. Be sure to place on your 4th and final cake layer upside down. What this will do is ensure that the top of your cake is flat. Pipe any extra frosting that you have on top of the cake. Smooth out the frosting and give your cake a crumb coat. What a crumb coat is, it's a very thin layer of frosting that'll lock in all of the cake crumbs. Once the top is frosted, start applying buttercream to the sides of the cake. After you've completed your crumb coat, pop the cake in the fridge for 20 minutes. The next step is to make the trolls bark. Start off by melting blue and pink candy melts. Make sure the candy melts are completely melted and there's no chunks. Place a silicone baking mat on a small sheet pan. Then spread out your blue candy melts using a small offset spatula. Make sure to leave a 1-inch gap between the candy melts and the edge of the pan. The next step is to evenly distribute pink candy melts on top of the blue. Now, take the spatula and drag it through both candy melts. What this will do is give the trolls bark a marbled effect. To finish it off, decorate the bark with colorful sprinkles. Then, place your bark in the fridge for 10 minutes. To frost the cake, start off by fitting 2 decorating bags with round piping tips. Fill one bag with pink buttercream and the other bag with blue. Starting with the blue buttercream, make stripes of frosting going up the sides of the cake. Once you're halfway up the sides of the cake, start making stripes with pink frosting. In addition to the sides, cover the top of the cake in pink frosting. To smooth out the frosting, do the following steps. First, hold a bench scraper against the side of the cake. Then, start spinning the turntable. With time, the stripes will disappear and the colors will seamlessly blend. You'll also want to smooth out the top of the cake. Now place the cake in the fridge for 20 minutes. As your cake is in the fridge, let's make the ganache strips. Start off by pouring white chocolate chips in a microwave-safe bowl. Then drizzle over the heavy whipping cream. Microwave this mixture for 1 minute. After microwaving the ganache for 1 minute, stir it together. Microwave the ganache for 30 seconds more and then stir it one last time. Divide up the ganache between 2 bowls and color one bowl blue and the other bowl pink. Now mix in the food coloring. Using a measuring cup with a spout, pour each ganache into a squeeze bottle. Before dripping the ganache, make 2 markings on top of the cake. The first mark will divide the cake in half and the second mark will divide it into quarters. Start by filling 1/4 of the cake with blue drips. Hold the ganache over the edge of the cake and let it drip down the sides. The more pressure you use, the farther down the drip will go. Your finished drips should look like this. Next, fill the area that we marked earlier with white chocolate ganache. Following that step, drip ganache around the rest of the cake. To finish off the drip, fill in the remaining 2 areas with pink ganache. Now that you're done making the ganache strips, take your trolls bark out of the fridge and break it apart into small shards. The final step is to decorate the cake. First, place the poppy and branch figurines in the center of the cake. Then place on pieces of bark. Try not to place any bark in front of the figurines. Finish off the cake with some colorful sprinkles and you're done. All that's left is cutting the cake. This is my favorite part. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to comment below if you want to see more cakes like this. Thanks for watching!